Today's environment requires that we're hardwired, ready for change. Some call it evolution, some call it revolution. To us, it's about constantly reinventing or risk-facing irrelevancy. And we at Viacom know a thing or two about reinvention. We were born based on the idea we wouldn't grow old with our audience, that reinvention would be our imperative, and that our only constant would be change. MTV Networks International, a company with early and wide roots on the international TV scene, recently evolved to become Viacom International Media Networks. We recognized there was an opportunity to better leverage our global scale, to tap into growth opportunities like the adult market, and to provide all our key constituencies a broader array of world-class content. So we've expanded beyond our traditional channels, MTV, Nickelodeon, VH1, et cetera, to include new brands in the ad-supported TV space, such as Colors, our powerhouse Indian entertainment brand, and BET for fans of black culture, and Paramount with its iconic motion picture library, and Blink, our first entertainment channel targeted to women, making one very powerful Viacom International Media Networks portfolio. Today, we have over 160 channels in 160-plus countries and territories, reaching nearly 650 million homes, covering almost the entire spectrum of demographics, from kids to adults and everything in between. We also have hundreds of digital properties and a significant related consumer products business. We've got a global network and infrastructure, along with local production capabilities to ensure we're relevant and that we resonate across cultures. Now, when MTV first started expanding around the world, we were pan-regional. And then we became very focused on local. But these days, the evolution of markets, the proliferation of technology, and the increasingly empowered consumer require a greater balance between global and local, something we call glocal. These days, the world is truly becoming glocal. It imports and exports an increasing amount of content. And it's not just US content conquering the world. In fact, global content is becoming much more prevalent. If you look at the big networks in the US, in 2005, there were 12 shows that came from international. Fast forward to last year, that number was 53. That's almost 4 times in a short period of years. And it's not just a general trend, it's a trend we see with our portfolio as well. And ultimately, as a global media company, it's critical that we have this mix of product that reflects interest from around the world, but also can capitalize on economies of scale. It's a constant focus to strike the right balance, and again, it's all about, we think, being local. So how do we strike that balance? How do we ensure we have our finger on the pulse of what's cool, market by market, demographic by demographic? The answer's simple. We let our audiences tell us where they want to go, which we do through relentless research across all the demographics we serve. Far from an afterthought, research today is an inspiration. It's where we begin. It informs our strategies. It informs both business and creative. It shapes our brands. It inspires our content and our marketing. Research tells us where to go, when to be local, when to be global. It ignites our client partnership, and it influences our business model. In short, it drives programming, it drives marketing, and it drives monetization. That's our formula. But research isn't just about programming. It's about marketing, too. To tap into the empowered consumers' need to control and customize, again, a trend we're seeing across all demos, we've had to adapt our marketing strategies. In fact, we all saw about the Arab Spring. In our experience, social media has become weapons of mass TV mobilization. Think of social media as a telephone. Often, we're the conversation. It's a great tool to distribute content, to get dialogues around it, to get buzz, and drive tune-in for network shows. Today, across our networks and properties all around the world, we have about 250 million Facebook fans and more than 8.5 million Twitter followers. In many respects, these folks are doing the marketing for us. It's this intersection of TV and social media where we live. And what about the final piece of the equation? Monetization. It's obviously an important question, because at the end of the day, we're running a business. Our audience's expectations of instant access, unlimited choice, the ability to customize, personalize, and participate with content, we've got to deal with all that while balancing the realities of business. It's a constant balance. International program sales is also an important tool in our monetization arsenal. Fortunately, we have a strong slate of international programming, 335 properties, including titles like Kung Fu Panda, Ugly Americans, and The Hills, and obviously many, many more, with about 10,000 total episodes available. We complement that with local productions and customized formats, and this week we've got 12 new shows and 3 new formats available. Format localization across the different genres of programming in our brands is also an increasingly big focus for us. In fact, Geordie Shore is effectively a localization of Jersey Shore. And at Viacom International Media Networks, we have a dedicated catalog of 65 shows available for local adaptation across our library of reality, kids, dating, and gaming show titles. We exploit this catalog internationally via our network of, obviously, our own channels, as well as via licensing to third-party producers and broadcasters, like we've recently done with Pros vs. Joes in a deal in Norway and Sweden. And we've also sold our formats into even China, where we had Guts on CCTV in 2009. So formats are an important business for us. Our latest offering is MTV Latin America's original scripted series, think novella, called Popland. We're launching this latest MTV novella as both a finished program and a format production that's being offered for worldwide distribution. Now, while linear TV is still the core of our business, we're also experimenting with new distribution options, both with our traditional pay TV partners and some new entrants who are looking to grow the business, people like Hulu and Netflix. We also have a growing, what we call MBL, mobile brand licensing business, which is effectively an MTV-branded mobile self-service. We have 6 countries up in Europe with about 3 million subs. And we just signed a 7th deal that we haven't announced the country for yet. And we've launched over 200 apps across our brands and countries. Finally, we continue to experiment with services like VOD, DTO, and subscription to give our audiences the flexibility and accessibility they certainly crave. So to conclude, as the world evolves, we need to make programming and advertising that's more relevant, more targeted, more personalized, which means a deeper understanding of and engagement with our audiences. And in turn means more value for our distribution, marketing, and licensing partners. We need to and will continually test new media, and we'll experiment and innovate. In short, we need to continue to reinvent ourselves.